Okay, so this is the only Pirkei Avos Megillas Esther crossover that I know of. So this is in the 6th parak of Pirkei Avos, which is not actually Pirkei Avos. Okay, this is I think I mentioned this once before. This is called they call it the braisa, I think, of Kinyan HaTorah. It's what's braisa? Outside text. Yeah. Okay, so it was added onto Pirkei Avos, I think, because I heard this. I don't know if this is true, that there's a minhag that people have to learn Pirkei Avos between Pesach and Shavuos.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
And so I think the idea is that they probably start after Pesach, and then there are going to be 6 weeks, right? Because after the week after. So I think they needed an extra parak of Pirkei Avos, so they took Brysos and then they made that into a 6th parak. I think that's where it comes from. I don't know for sure though.
Cool.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah. Okay, so it starts off. Who wants to read?
I agree.
Okay, go ahead.
Gedol Torah yoter min ha kahuna umin hamachas. Torah is better than priesthood and kingship.
Yep.
She ha malchus niknes b'shloshim malos, because kingship is acquired with 3 perfections.
Shloshim.
30.
30, yeah. And I think perfections is a good word. I think in the context, and this I'm not even sure about, I think privileges would be a better translation, because it's like things that the king gets that others don't have, like rights or like,
I thought it was talking about that in order to be a king, you get 30.
That's what it sounds like, but I'm pretty sure the Mefarshim take it this way. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's acquired with it.
Like you get it with, yeah. But your intuition was right for the part that we're going to focus on now. So, yeah. Go ahead.
V'akahuna be'asrim v'arba, and priesthood of 24.
Yep.
Ve'hatorah niknis be'arba'im u'shmona devrim, and Torah is acquired with 48 things. Yeah,
48 things. Now, this I think Torah is acquired with is like what you were saying, is that's how you get Torah. Meaning kingship and malchus, you get 30 things when you get kingship, and you get 24 things when you get kahuna. But Torah, you need 48 things. You acquire it through 48 things, okay? And then it lists them. And I was too lazy to write all these out. Okay, so we'll just go through them really quickly, because this is I've always wanted to learn this in its entirety, because this is like the 48 things you need to get Torah. So let's go. Talmud translates as learning. Obviously, that's how you get Torah, right? No, I mean, the problem with this, some of these are like obvious, and some of them are like, what is it saying? Okay, Shmias ha'ozen. Yeah, the listening of the ears. Okay, which is some quality, obviously, for listening.
People's competitions about it?
Sounds like it, yeah. Or maybe listening carefully. I guess we'll have to see the list.
It could be like an auditory thing.
Yeah.
Like you have to hear it, not just read it.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, it could be literal hearing, right? Arichas safasayim.
Readiness,
lengthiness of
arichas with an ayin, like shulchan aruch with an ayin. Yeah. The arrangement of the lips is literally what it is. I have no idea what that is. You want any guesses?
How you say it?
You have to have your lips in a certain posture.
Yeah. You know when people daven, they say you have to move your mouth.
Oh, that could be. I was thinking maybe it means like being articulate and clear in your speech.
Really,
yeah. Again, I haven't learned this in depth.
I haven't acquired Torah then.
But yeah, because you can see how like that would you can see how that would like lead to better learning if you have clarity in speech. Binas halev.
Understanding of the heart.
Yeah, understanding of the heart. Don't know what that is either. I mean, something I understand. Sichlus halev. Intelligence of the heart. Okay, I don't know what the difference is. Ema. Yira. Right. So Ema and Yira are both meaning fear. Ema is like awe, and then Yira is fear. Anava, humility. Simcha, happiness. Tahara, purity, which again, what kind of purity is it talking about? Like, I don't think it's tumatara purity, like, shimush chachamim. Serving chachamim, good, because shimush sometimes means using, right?
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah. So
using their knowledge, but I guess not.
Yeah. So I've heard 2 explanations for shimush chachamim. One is literally like, serving chachamim, like honoring your teachers, and like doing stuff for them and everything. The other one is it's a mashal for learning how to think from chachamim as opposed to just learning information. And I don't know why it would call it shimush. Dikduk chaverim. This is an interesting one.
Checking out your friends, like having good friends.
So that's interesting. Yeah, dikduk means being precise with or being careful with. So it might be in friend selection. What do you think another thing might be that might lead to getting Torah?
Being careful about your relationships with your friends.
Correcting it. Not correcting it,
Yeah. Okay.
correcting
So
it,
I mean, you might be right also, but I think correcting your friends, like in other words, having a culture where you and your friends care about the accuracy of your learning, and you like help each other out, and like don't let mistakes slide, and like don't let sloppy thinking slide. Again, these are all just my speculations. I haven't like learned this that much. Oh, also because this is not actual Pirkei Avos, there's not a lot of commentary on it from the same commentators I usually use. Pilpul hatamina. Have you heard pilpul before? Oh, you're thinking peppers. Is that what you're thinking? Peppers?
Oh no, an elephant.
Peel is an elephant. Yeah, but this has nothing to do with vegetables or animals. It's a type of pupil is a type of learning. You heard this? Pupil is like
the push and pull.
That's a. What do you mean by that?
Like a question and answer type.
Yeah, it's it's like
we definitely did this.
yeah, it's basically pupil is like in depth. When people talk about like Talmudic analysis of like going into all of the inferences and like nuances and subtleties and like pilpul, that's what it's called. I mean, it was an official approach to learning that was in yeshivas in Europe in like the last couple hundred years. But when they said it in this mission, I think it just means like analytical study. Yishuv, settling. So if this is talking about Yishuv Hadas, it means a certain peace of mind, but I don't know, it might be referring to something else. I don't think it's talking about settling Eretz Yisrael, because that's not what was going on then. Mikra, if you have Mikra and Mishnah together, Mikra refers to what?
Reading.
Call read.
No, it's a certain tech. Nope, but close.
Torah.
Torah B'chsav. Mikra means scripture or Torah B'chsav.
Oh, because the Mishnah. Oh, right.
Yeah, Mishnah is Torah B'al right? Well, back then that was the only Torah B'al Mute schora. You know what schora is?
Blackness. Is it like the
That's shechora.
Reward.
No, but I wonder if it's etymologically related. Schora means business. Yeah, so it could be it was related. So mute schora.
Like less.
Yeah, minimizing like your business dealings. Okay, because obviously you're gonna have to like compromise some of your financial success in order to devote the time to succeed in Torah. Mute derech eretz.
What?
Okay, so this sounds weird, right?
Because maybe it's that you could challenge them. So
first of all, what does derech eretz mean? And they're like,
way of the land.
so it literally means the way of the land. So sometimes it's used for midos and like manners.
Sometimes like societal norms.
Sometimes societal norms.
Oh, yes.
And in the Haggadah, it's used. Derech eretz is used for like marital relations. So I don't know if it means. I don't think it means few manners or midos. So it either means like withdrawing your involvement in societal things, or it means like in marital relations. I'm not sure which one is used here. Mute ta'anug.
Lessening enjoyment.
Yeah, enjoyment. Now here it does not mean like you should be sad when you learn. What kind of enjoyment do you think it's talking about?
Physical.
Yeah, like the physical pleasures, right? Mute shena. Less sleep, right? Meaning that you're gonna have to. Yeah, it's not like being on YouTube. Less sleep. This is TikTok, I actually wasn't talking about you, but interesting you say that. What do you call it? This is a thing also, like they say that there's a midrash that says the nights were created for Torah learning, right? And you got to remember also back then, like when did people typically go to sleep?
When it got dark.
Yeah, when it got dark.
Right.
And so like if you are using those nighttime hours when most people are sleeping and using it for learning, then like you're gonna get further in your learning. Mute sicha. Yeah, chit chat's a good, right? Yeah, we had that earlier in the year, right? Is like idle conversation, right? Lessening of that. In fact, I think Rav Hirsch quoted from here to show that sicha with your wife, sicha does not mean good conversation. It means like waste of time conversation. Mute schok.
Laughter.
Yeah, so I think so. Schok.
Moving around.
Say again. Giddiness is a good thing, right? I mean, it's not laughter. It's like joking around in a non-serious way that like diminishes from like the seriousness of what you're doing. Erech apayim. Yes, slowness to anger, which is interesting. That's a quality for getting Torah. Like it's a good quality in general. Leiv tov. Good heart. It's not talking from a cardiologist perspective. That's like
good intention coming in, like while you're
yeah, it could be good intentions. It could be like good something about your values. I'm not sure. And munas chachamim, trust in the chachamim. Kabbalah's Hayisurin.
Accepting the extra struggles.
Close. Yisurin, a better word for than struggles.
Oh,
Afflictions. Yeah. Is acceptance of afflictions. Hamakir es makomo.
Recognize your place.
Recognizing your place. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Watch some of those videos.
Yeah. So I think.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a good question whether it means recognizing your place like that, or it means like recognizing your level. Like not thinking that you're greater than you are compared to like other chachamim or something. I'm not sure, because that's one thing. Like in the Sanhedrin, like they had an order of how they sat, in terms of their level. And whenever I bring that up, then people always ask, like, well, how do they know what level they're at? And I'm like, it is. I mean, I can speak from when I was in yeshiva. It's like everyone knows who is at what level. Like not everyone, but like it's like a known thing. Like who's greater chacham in what area. It's you just get to know. Hasameach l'chalko, right? We know that is right. Being happy with your portion. Ose siag ledvarav. You know what siag is?
Oh, siag is not treasure. It's like treasure.
This is Siag Torah.
You think of segula maybe?
No.
Yeah, siag is a fence.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making a fence for your words. Eno machazik tova la'atzma. Oh, we had this in Pirkei Avos.
Yeah.
You don't.
Don't like attach goodness to yourself.
Yeah, which means like what did that mean when we said if you learn a lot of Torah, then don't be machazik tova la'atzma?
Don't think that you do everything. Don't think like
Like haughtiness.
Yeah, how do we translate it though? If you learn a lot of Torah, don't do what?
attach. Don't think you do everything.
Don't take credit.
You're on the right
for
track.
it.
Yeah, don't take. We said either don't take credit or don't pat yourself on the back, like is the modern lingo here. By the way, even though we're not focusing on this, I think it's interesting to read them. Like so, I feel like it's a good thing. Ohev. Oh, sorry. Wait. Ahuv. Yeah, this is an interesting one. Not love. I mean, it's the same shorish, but ahuv.
No.
Beloved.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
That one out of all of them is interesting because it's something else that you kind of can't always control.
Right. You
Yeah,
you ultimately
person.
can't control.
Self-love.
Maybe.
You could be someone that people.
Could be.
I wasn't expecting that.
No, you should be someone that people love. And that
Yeah,
people
you can
love.
definitely make yourself into a type of person that people love. It doesn't guarantee that everyone will love you, but there are people who are
More
easier to love and harder to love, and you could be on the easier side. Ohev es hamakom, loving God. Okay, good. Ohev es brios,
loving the creation.
the creation. Now, brios in Chazal typically means people. Yeah, even though I mean, it might mean all creations here, but I think people. Ohev es hatzedakos.
Loving the kindness.
Yeah, loving I think tzedakos here is like giving tzedakah, but not receiving. I don't think it's receiving tzedakah. Yeah. And the reason why I'm saying it's referring to tzedakah because I've never seen tzedakos in plural.
Me either.
So I think it must mean like acts of tzedakah, not like righteousness in general. Ohev es hamesharim.
Loving the straight one.
Yeah, uprightness. Uprightness is or people who are upright. Ohev es hatochachos. Loving rebuke. Misrachek min hakavod.
Distance yourself from honor.
Distance yourself from honor. Velo megis libo b'talmuda. Not making your heart. You want to guess? Not making your heart blank
Look
in your
down.
learning.
Gisa.
Close. So it means haughty. I don't know what the etymology is, but not being haughty in your learning or about your learning. Ve'eno sameach behorah. This is an interesting one.
Not happy with
Yeah, horah. Say again.
teaching.
Horah can mean teaching. I don't think it means teaching here.
People in awe of you, like people.
No, this comes from the same source as Torah, but so horah means psak, paskening, not being happy to pasken. Okay, which is an interesting one. Rav Moshe Feinstein has an introduction to his chuvos where he says basically like, if you are qualified to give, if you're not qualified to give psak and you give psak, then that's like bad. And if you are qualified and you don't give psak, then that's also bad. But there should be like a reluctance to get into a position where you're like paskening. Nose ba'ol im chavera. What's an ol? Yoke,
Oh,
right?
this is we just had it in a few parshas ago, right? Where it's saying like, I guess that was your enemy. If your enemy.
Yeah, right. So bearing a yoke with your friend, which sounds like what in your. I mean, again, I don't know what the actual interpretation is.
Don't hold the grudge.
Say again?
Empathizing.
Like beef between you two.
I don't know.
No,
I thought more like what Leo was saying.
I was like, whoa.
No, I thought no, bearing a yoke with your friend, meaning like you could let your friend bear the yoke alone, or you could bear the yoke with them, like a certain like
So
empathizing.
don't bear it with them?
No, you should bear it with them.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I was like, why you took them far along?
Machrio lekafzchus. You should.
Be quick. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, machria is literally to judge them. Yeah, favorably, right? Judge them favorably. Ma'amido al ha'emes. This is talking about your friend.
Stand him.
Yeah, stand him up on the truth. I don't know what that means.
Make him realize the truth.
Yeah, but I feel like
No, like,
that's
Or prepare him.
Put him
for
in a
the truth.
position where everything he does is true.
that might be better. Yeah, it sounds like something more than just like always make sure that if he's wrong, then you correct him. You know, like yeah. Umamido al hashalom. Stand him up on peace, right? Misyashiv libu b'talmudo. This is an interesting one also.
Settle his heart and his learning.
Yeah, settle his heart and his learning. You know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is referring. I thought this was for your friend because it said Javero here, but I feel like this is for yourself. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Settle his heart with his learning. I'm not sure. Shoel Meshiv.
Ask
That's
and
one
be-
item. Yeah, ask and
be answered.
answer.
Oh.
Okay. Shomea umosif.
Listen and
Listen
add.
and add. Yeah.
Oh, it's like,
Add or continue.
Yeah. Halomed almanas lilamed.
One who learns in order to learn.
In order lilamed to teach, learning in order to teach. Halomed almanas lasos.
Who
And
learns in
learn
order
teaching
to
to
Learn in order to do.
a learner.
Hamachkim es rabo.
You wait.
Oh, machkim can mean wait. Yeah, that's true. But here it's from chacham, but it's in Hefil. Lehachkim is to make your rav wise, to make your teacher wise. V'machavin es shmuaso.
Intend his here.
Yeah, so machavin here it could mean intend, but it can also mean to make exact. So I think this means like make your shmua is the stuff that you received from other people, like the learning you hear. Make sure it's exact. And then finally we get to number 48, which is back on our source sheet. 48 is, go ahead, continue.
Omro Davar b'shem Omro, and say something in the name of the person who said it.
Yeah, say something in the name of the person who said it. And then it elaborates on just this one. Okay, go ahead.
Here we learn. This
Yep.
teaches. Shekol Omro Davar b'shem Omro. Anyone who says something in the name of the person who said it, maybe Gilal Olam, they bring redemption to the world.
Yep.
Shneimar, as it says, Vatomer Esther Lamelch M'shem Mordechai. Esther said to Achashveirosh in the name of Mordechai.
Yep. Okay, good.
That's
So
cute.
yeah, so it brings in that thing at the end, right? Now let's just, before we raise our questions here, let's just reread those psukim because there's only a couple of psukim. Stop share
Where?
in Megillus Esther.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't include it on your thing. I forgot.
Oh, no, I wasn't sure what you wanted to see.
So you remember what she told?
Yeah, we told the king that Mordechai said the whole thing about the two people trying to kill him.
Yep. Okay, so let's just read it. I think it's like a handful of psukim.
For all our quizzes.
Yeah.
That they come in handy. Don't tell them.
Oh, those. Oh my god. Right about it.
I had the most evil when I taught Megillus Esther in Shalavet, which was before your time. I had the most evil quizzes that I guess it was too hard. It was multiple choice, but there could be multiple correct answers. Yeah, drove people crazy.
I'm sorry.
Nightmare.
I remember
Yeah.
when we used to have
I
the
cried
Yoma
more
ones, but
too.
those aren't bad.
Yeah.
Well, not Yoma.
We only had like
wait,
one.
So you really need to take the quiz and
We
start
only had
over
like
every
one.
one.
Remember we thought we were
No,
supposed to have like
No,
all
there's
every
multiple
week?
right answers.
Right, so
And
there's
you have
It's not just you circle
Yeah.
whatever you
you
want.
need
You have
multiple ones that look right, not that all
no
right.
that are right.
You have to circle two.
And then
Not
once you
all
get it
of
wrong,
them.
you have to
But
get
you
all
wouldn't
of
know whether there were
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5, or all of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
That's so confusing.
Yeah, it was confusing. Okay, anyway, so it's just these three psukim here. So this is after Esther gets chosen. Okay. Bayamim hahem uMordechai yoshev b'shar melech. So in those days, Mordechai sat in the king's gate, and the king's gate is what's significant about King's Gate?
Oh, that's where judges sat?
Yeah, it's like one of the judges, leaders, officials sat. Chatzaf bigsan v'serish shnei sarisei melech mishomrei hasaf vayvakshu lishloach yad b'melech Achashveirosh. So bigsan and Serish, two of the ministers of the king, or eunuchs of the king, guardians. I always forget guardians of the Saf. What is guardians of the Saf? Guardians of the goblet. Okay, so like cupbearers. Vayvakshu. So they got mad at the king. Okay, it doesn't say why they got mad. Vayvakshu lishloach yad b'melech Achashveirosh. And they wanted to send forth their hand against Achashveirosh, which means kill him. Vayivada Davar Mordechai, and the matter became known to Mordechai. You know the midrash about how Mordechai knew.
He knew 70 languages.
Yeah,
wow.
because
He was one of the something. Shemzakinin?
close. He was on the Sanhedrin, and the
Oh.
Sanhedrin needs to know all the languages because.
Because anyone can come to them from anywhere.
Good guess. Think about in a trial, what would be the advantage of having the judges understanding the language?
Oh, because you could hear if anyone whispers to not whispers, but like tries talking a different language, you know what they're talking about.
That could be. But think for the case itself. What would make them a better judge if they know the language?
You can read people. Like if you understand like how they're saying it, so you can if they're lying. You know?
Like intonation, if someone speaks in a different language that you don't know.
Yes, I think you're all dancing around the idea, which is that if you rely on a translator, things could get lost in translation. But if you understand it yourself, then you can pick up on the intonations and the hints and like the subtleties of the words. So the Midrash says that Mordechai was on the Sanhedrin, so he knew the languages and he overheard them, and they didn't think that he could understand. Vayagid Esther Hamaka, and he told it to Esther the queen. But Tomer Esther Lamelch b'shem Mordechai, and then the queen told the king in the name of Mordechai. Vayivukash Davar, the matter was investigated. Vayimatze, and it was found. Vayitalu shnehem al eitz, and the two of them were hanged on the tree. Vayikasef b'sefer divrei hayamim lifnei Malach, and they were written in the book of Chronicles before the king.
It's also funny though, because don't we have two books called Davar and Aleph and Bet?
Yeah, so divrei hayamim is just a book of, just means the book of Chronicles, where they wrote like the news and the records. So all kings had divrei hayamim. And then ours is the Divrei Hayamim of Malcha Yehuda. So that, yeah. So it doesn't mean in our Divrei Hayamim. It's like they wrote it. Yeah. Yeah, it's just that it means like in the official records is yeah. Okay. All right. So what? Obviously, we're not asking questions on all of those, but on this, what would you say the questions and problems are that we need to figure out here?
Why does it bring Ula to the world? Like that's a very strong.
Okay, so what is it about Ha'omer Davar B'Shem Omro that brings Geula?
And how does it help you in acquiring Torah?
Okay, good. Yeah, in fact, yeah, hold on a second. That brings Geula to the world. In other words, how? Okay, and then Emily's asking the main question, which is, how is this a trait that enables you to acquire Torah? Okay, like it's obviously a good thing to do, cite your sources, you know, but how does it actually help your Torah development?
Are you asking on the beginning too?
You can. You mean like you can ask that if you want. I mean, I don't think we're going to get into the kingship and the priesthood though.
Okay.
Yeah. What were we going to ask though?
Like why is Torah greater than them, and why because?
Yeah. I included a sforno on the source sheet who kind of addresses that, but I don't think we're going to get too deep into that.
How do you do this practically?
Yeah. Practically, what does this mean? Like what are the parameters? What are the parameters? Yeah. Like for example, do you have were you asking that in a general way, or you had like specific questions in mind about this?
I was asking in general.
Yeah.
Also, what is this example adding?
Yes. Okay. What you mean the example of Esther and Mordechai? Yeah. What does Mordechai? What is the proof from Esther add? And there's something I think even more, and this is really what I wanted to focus on here for. What is weird about citing this as a proof?
It's not
Like
part
it's
of
better
Tarsha Bechtav. It's part. Oh no, it is.
It is, yeah.
That there's better examples.
Yeah. Like what?
So she had motive in this case.
Abraham.
Like the whole Mishnah.
What do you think? Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah. What were we thinking for Abraham?
Something about low.
Yeah.
Or something.
One who like brings other people into the Torah life. Something like that. I don't remember.
Okay. I mean, you could say that. I was thinking more along like what you were saying, Ayala, is that like literally every page of every Mishnah says stuff in the name of the one who said it, and but there's something else also. What kind of thing was she saying? What kind of statement was she saying in the name of Mordechai?
Not even Torah.
Not Torah at all, right?
Yeah.
It was it.
Oh no.
It was basically like a report to like for safety for the king.
Right.
So it's like it's a weird example because it has nothing to do with saying a Torah idea in the name of someone, you know?
And even if you do
Doesn't
say
say
Torah.
Torah.
It doesn't say Torah, but isn't the context would seem to be things that like help you to gain Torah. So like I'll just add it as like this example seems to have nothing to do with Torah. Were you someone was gonna say something?
Oh, I was gonna say, even if it has to do with Torah, like you wouldn't be citing a person, you'd be citing God, and that should be a greater thing.
I don't understand.
Like, let's say you say a statement from Torah
Yeah.
over to someone, and you're what the word they use, you say in the name of who said it.
Mhm.
Then you would be saying, oh, I'm saying this in the name of God, and that's like, or in my head, it should be like a greater thing than just quoting some random person.
Okay, so I think I would lump that under the category of what are the parameters, because like, does this extend to saying something in the name of Hashem? But I guess what I'm trying to get at with this question here is like, okay, what's the shot in it brings redemption to the world based on this example?
That it saves people's lives.
Yeah, how?
Because then Mordechai ended up getting honored and led to the whole saving of the Jews.
Exactly, right. So in other words,
I thought you were asking in the context of everything, like what it's trying to.
well, in the context of the my question is about the context of everything, but I'm saying here the geula that, so in other words, it's true that Esther's attribution to Mordechai caused geula, but what does that have to do with citing an idea in the name of the speaker? In other words, it's saying like when you quote something, you should quote the person who said it, because look at what Esther did it and it saved all the Jewish people. Well, great for her. Like, what does her say? And it's not even like that was something that she calculated. That's like she said in the name of Mordechai. They wrote it in the Divrei Yamim. The king couldn't sleep. And they saw that Mordechai hadn't been rewarded, and then like that ended up, and then Esther like did the party, and like that ended up saving the Jewish people. But like it's just such a far-fetched sounding reason, you know. Say what would be a reason that if I asked you why should you say something in the name of the person who said it, what would you what's reason?
Give
What
them
would you
credit.
Yeah, give them credit. Why? What like what's good?
Be honest.
Instead of you taking credit for it, you're giving them credit, right?
Give them honor.
Giving them honor, right? Honoring the fellow chachamim. What else?
Honesty, like in line with reality.
See, right? You're not like pretending that you came up with this idea when it's really not yours. You know, why is it important in the Gemara when they quote someone to quote it in the name of the people who said it?
So you can know its authority.
Yeah, so you can know the level of authority.
The source might be important.
The source might be important.